Hi, and welcome to this demo. Today I'll show you how to use RavenDB as a playground. So your first step is to open your browser and open live test at ravendb.net. So on this live test, what you'll see is the RavenDB itself on the most recent version. As you can see down here, we are on 7.2.2. So you don't need to install anything to play with that. Um, So the first thing you can see is Raven Studio, where you can access some dashboards that will monitor the server um, equipment. So you can see the hardware how it is behaving. And when you come here to databases, you can see all the databases created on this cluster. So you're free to come here and create a simple database like Playground. You can click create it. And when you do so, your database will appear on the list. Watch out because this is a totally open link, so everyone would have access to your database. So use this only for testing purposes. So click on Playground and you'll have access to your own database. And here you can see the collection list, which is empty. To create some data to play, you can just click here on Tasks, come here and create sample data, and create the sample data. RavenDB will work for you to create a list of collections for you, where you will be able to see here, clicking on Documents, and here they are. So you have a few collections to play. Collections are kind of tables, but they do not exist physically. They are just groups of similar documents. So let's click on Employees, and you'll see the employees list. If you click on Laura, you'll be able to see her data. And here you can see that, for example, that she lives in Seattle. Okay, so you can see that RavenDB stores JSON, and here we can nest all the properties, all the data that belongs to her. To query on RavenDB, what we must do is to click here on Query, and we will be able to do simple queries that are composed by from your collection and your where clause. Here it is, your results. So as you can see here, this is RQL. This is Raven Query Language, very similar to SQL. So let's say that we want to query everyone who lives in Seattle. So we should query from where employees, city, address dot city is Seattle. Okay, we have two people, Nancy and Laura. But what happened here? Uh, we can just quickly understand that that the database might be run through all the documents of employees and search for who has the city as Seattle on his address list. Um, well, imagine now a database with 1 million documents, and imagine the effort that the database would need to do to find everyone who lives in Seattle. So to fix this, databases in general has a trick that it's called index. And the index is like a kind of inverted phone book that would place the properties that you want to search in a certain order, but generally you have to create it. And when you create it manually, you define which fields you're indexing. So this would make the queries faster, even if you have a really large data set. So basically, On RavenDB, you don't have to worry about it at all because RavenDB will create it automatically. So as you can see here, when we perform this query and the prior one, we could see that the results came from this blue option here that is the auto index. So RavenDB creates that for you based on your query. Let's see what's inside. If you create a C index, you'll see that we mapped employees by city and by first name. So it means that uh, RavenDB understood the query I did, organized the data, created an index, and now the queries would be super fast based on this index. So Raven prioritizes indexes. So every query that you do, it will create the index before anything. So about that, what we could have as a conclusion is that if you don't know about index, you wouldn't have to worry about it at all. But if you need to understand how the index work, how to build it, RavenDB will have a open places that you could watch and understand their indexes. And if you are already familiar with indexes, you would just not waste time by building that. So RavenDB makes your life easy. Thank you for watching.